In times of drought and extreme weather, it's important to maintain high levels of productivity to simply pay for the costs of production. The Tatura trellis is one of the highest producing orchards in the world, and given good management, that the Tatura trellis can produce not only high yields but early yields. It's not unusual for a Tatura trellis to produce optimum yields in the second year after planting. The framework of the tree is kept small. Some trellis trees are only 2 metres high. The canopy is purposely kept shallow so that light penetrates the canopy, and the V shape of the canopy ensures that we're optimising light interception, and hence light interception can be converted into fruit production and quality.
Trellises, whether they're single row systems or whether they're V systems like Tatura, they can assist the grower in controlling damaging weather. Severe windstorms, if you have your trees secured to a trellis structure and you have your fruiting limbs secured to a trellis structure, you don't get the sort of damage. Whereas a freestanding tree, you get things going like this, you can actually have 30% of your fruit drop off in a windstorm. Irregardless of system, whether it's a single row system or a V system, what I'm going to really focus on is that bit of wood that the fruit's produced on. If we're growing fruit on a limb that stands freely, the fruit's pretty resistant to sunburn as long as it doesn't change its position. And as the fruit starts to grow, the weight of the fruit will change the position, and where this side was acclimatized to that heat, when you suddenly expose a different part of the fruit, you get a sunburn. So what I'm going to look to do is grow my fruit on very firm structures.
The trellising system that we use for our dried fruit production is much more efficient than what it was, say, 15 years ago. Now we're using a swing arm trellis system which is much more labour efficient, and it cuts the time of pruning and harvest down dramatically. We're able to knock this arm out, and this arm will swing over when all the other ones are knocked out as well. And these cropping canes here are the following season's cropping canes for next year. With swing arm trellis, yields have marginally increased, but the main gain has been the labour that you require. For 3 people has enabled us to complete the harvest operation, and last year we harvested 300 tonnes, so that's 100 tonne of dried fruit per person. So that's a good illustration of the effectiveness of that type of trellis system that it does. And 3 people are also able to prune 65 acres of this type of trellis system, whereas previously you'd probably need 2 or 3 times as many people to cover that amount of ground.
The 2 main functions of the canopy in times of drought: firstly, it's got to act as a source of photosynthesis to ripen the crop and to ripen an economic crop. Secondly, an extremely important role of canopy management during a drought is that it has to provide an adequate amount of shade, because typically during drought we see a high amount of sun exposure. So our aim is to, right from the outset of the season from budburst, to promote a good healthy canopy that provides adequate shade as the fruit develops and ripens, but it also provides enough functioning leaf that can develop enough sugars for us to produce a high quality wine. Having a good healthy functioning canopy is essential to make sure that fruit comes through extreme heat events still in marketable condition.
If you want to know more about this program, contact your Industry Grower Association or the DPI Customer Service Line 136 186.